Hi there, today I'm gonna share with you how I propagated my Philodendron white princess. By the way, there are two other plants that look similar to the white princess. We have the white knight and the white wizard. The white knight has heart-shaped leaves, dark petioles and stems, while the white wizard has somewhat round leaves and green petioles and stems. Well, among the three, the fastest growing one they say is the white wizard. This was the mother plant of my white princess that I acquired in October of last year that I propagated in December. I made two one-leaf propagations together with the other plants. In February, this is how one of them looks like. The variegation is crazy. I placed my propagations beside a very large south-facing window. And that is the reason why the perlite that is used to propagate them is darkened. It is because of the light that passes through it. But I don't mind because it doesn't seem to harm the plant. Now, let's look at the pot number 2. It's got larger leaves, but there are fewer of them instead compared to the other pot. And now I'm ready to propagate them again. Now I place both pots on the propagation table so I can examine each one of them. And so this is pot number 2 with larger but fewer leaves. And pot number 1 here, though it has tiny leaves, but there are more of them. And so I examine each pot. Pot number 2 has larger leaves though, but I noticed that the roots are too small, so I'm not confident in cutting it off because I'm so scared, and I'll just let the roots grow longer first before I propagate it. So I'll just leave it alone. That's what I thought. On the other hand here, pot number 1 has grown so many leaves, and also the roots have grown underneath the perlite, and I think I'm gonna make 3 plants out of it. So I decided to propagate pot number 1 first. What I did first was to sterilize my cutters, and I went to the sink and made 3 cuttings out of my white princess. Then I let the cuts dry out first before doing anything. To avoid any infection, I applied fungicidal on each area that was cut. And by the way, the fungicidal that I use is called Dethane. That's what's available in our area. I bought Dethane as a powder, but I applied water in it to form a paste. And before I discovered Dethane powder, what I used for my propagations was cinnamon powder as a fungicidal. I've also learned that when cutting a philodendron, I let the wounds dry up first a little bit, like let's say at least 30 minutes before applying the fungicidal. I've done applying the fungicidal, so now I think I'm ready to put up all the 3 cuttings that I have. 2 small cuttings in the mother plant, which is also still a baby plant. And like I said, this other guy here is not ready for propagation, so I'll just set it aside. This is the first cutting that I put up with perlite, and I'm gonna do the same thing for the other 2 cuttings. Now here I was ready to put up the 2 other cuttings. So I made sure to it that I placed enough perlite at the bottom of the cup before I set the plant into the cup. Then I need to pour more perlite so as to cover the roots. So I give it a little tap to set the plant properly. as you can see it here, the perlite covered about half of the cup. Well, so I'm doing the same process for the last cutting. So after I potted up all 3 cuttings, I need to pour about an inch level of water into each one of them. So here are my new propagations. 1 water plant and 2 new cuttings. So here they are. I've got additional plants on my White Princess collection. There you go, guys. That's the end of my Philodendron White Princess propagation story. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Bye.